Hey guys, what's up? This is doing my what's next on Jose Ramirez, the undefeated and newly unified WBC and WBO junior welterweight champion. That's 140 pounds. He fought in the main event of a DAZN card as he quote-unquote crossed the street and came on. He came from Top Rank in ESPN, got a big offer from Matchroom, and came over to attempt to unify titles against previously undefeated Maurice Hooker. This was a huge fight in this division, and Ramirez, it was a really good fight. They were going back and forth, toe-to-toe, and he just caught Hooker in the 6th round with a left hook, and a short left hook, and hurt him badly, jumped on him, and the fight was over just like that. The referee had to step in and save Hooker. And, you know, Ramirez, huge win, biggest win of his career, and now he has 2 of the 4 titles at 140. So the question now is, what's next for Jose Ramirez? First off, Ramirez is from from Fresno, this area. I mean, I live in the Central Valley. Where he's from is about an hour and a half away from me, past Fresno. And, it's a pretty big deal for this area, a guy to come out and do that. Congrats to him. Now, what are the options? Let's break down, the main options that everybody's talking about, then we'll run through the top 10 and see there. Next, I know everybody wants to see him fight the winner of the World Boxing Super Series Finals, which is the 2 undefeated champions that are actually going to decide the other 2 belts in the division, which are undefeated Regis Prograis and undefeated Josh Taylor. These 2 guys are hooking up likely early October in the finals of the World Boxing Super Series, and they're unifying belts. The thing is don't expect that fight next. And the reason why is there's mandatories due for these belts. And they should get their mandatories out of the way because they're going to get stripped the titles if they don't. Ramirez has a mandatory for the WBO belt. The guy's name is Jack Catterall. He's from, the United Kingdom. And Bob Arum's already came out and said that Ramirez is likely going to face Catterall or Victor Postal next, who basically is like the WBC's number 2 or 3 contender. He won an eliminator earlier in the year. And so that's basically what Ramirez is probably going to do next. But, we'll run through some of the other options just in case, in the top 10. He already beat Antonio Orozco, so no chance of that fight happening. Ivan Barianchek, former champ, not going to happen. No interest right there. That'd be a high-risk fight. There wouldn't make any sense. And then some of the other guys, let me see. Jose Cepeda, the guy that he beat back in February in a very close fight, he's not going to take a risk like that next. Cure Relic, former champion, no way. Pablo Cesar Cano, the guy who upset Jorge Linares. I think if he could fight him, I think he would. It'd be a good name, coming off of a good win to go after next, in my opinion. But, hey, who's to say if it's really an option or not? But I think he would be into facing a guy like Cano coming off the win over Linares. I think that'd be an interesting bout right there. So Terry Flanagan, former lightweight champion, not going to fight him. That wouldn't make any sense right now. And then, a rematch with Maurice Hooker. They mentioned that. I don't know if Hooker would want that fight next. And to be honest, I don't know if Ramirez thinks he needs to fight him. He decisively knocked him out. So, I don't know if he needs it, even though that fight was a war and it was close before the knockout happened. Breaking down some of the other guys, again, Victor Postal, we said, is probably going to be, is definitely an option. He's a hot option right now. He's like, for me, he's my number 4 junior welterweight right now in the world. And then, Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis are not options next unless, they can get an exception unless they can get an exception to wait around and fight them for the undisputed title. But then again, that fight probably wouldn't take place till next February or March at the earliest, considering Taylor and Prograis are fighting each other in October. So, he's not going to want to wait around that many months. So, yeah, he's going to want to, make a mandatory, get it out of the way. That's because the guy who holds the Diamond Championship, which is basically the #1 contendership for his title, I believe, is either Taylor or Prograis. I can't remember which one it is. I think Prograis was the interim champion coming into this tournament. So, essentially, that's his mandatory for the WBC belt, the belt that he already had. Now, why not just make your WBO mandatory against this Jack Catterall, retain your titles, and focus on a big undisputed title fight next year? It would only build his brand even more and his resume even more. That's what I think he should do. But Ramirez impressed me a lot with the win over Hooker. And, it was just, it was a pleasant surprise victory. He showed me a lot of skill, a lot of heart. He took some good punches and kept coming forward. This guy's the real deal. And I really can't wait to see him fight whoever he fights next. Should be good. All right, guys, that's it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.